check it, the hour of power. POD cast is upon your ass. Spitting on the mic is the NZ boss and his homie DJ NZ the Oz. Yeah, don't twitch, don't snitch, don't switch. Just open up your senses. And now listen to the hour of power. To the hour of power. To the hour of power. To the hour of power.
Whoa, what an intro. Shane, are you there?
I'm here, brother DJ. What's happening, my mate?
Man, I just can't stop listening to this intro. It's just not any intro. You know who recorded this, right?
Big Willie, shout out to the bro and the brother Ty from Smash Proof.
Yeah,
Making
Ty
our shit
from Smash.
fresh and flawless.
Ty from Smash Proof, opening act for Jay-Z, and part of one of the longest running hits in NZ, and also Willstar, the producer. Worked with acts like Ariana Grande, DJ Mustard and Western. Doing our intro, NZ Boss, Hour of Power, very first podcast ever.
Yeah. It's fitting that we got the bro Ty to drop some rhymes on that beat for us because we met him in Mount Druitt, New Dimensions Gym, in the hood, 2770, when he was just an up and coming rapper when they first started their career. So it's all fitting, bro. It's all fitting.
Yeah, so it was him and Sid. Young Ty, young Sid. Straight off the plane.
Straight out of South Auckland. Yep.
All right, man.
And,
we'll tell you this podcast is sponsored by.
So podcast is sponsored by NZ Muscle. That's www.nzmuscle.co.nz. The main Bullos boss, Dion, has dropped a code for us called BOSS. So just use that code at checkout and you'll get some Grisby discounts.
Nice. So thanks for NZ Muscle for sponsoring this podcast. So I'm DJ Bigwig and NZ Boss, Shano. This is our third podcast of the Hour of Power podcast. So let's get into it, man. So why did we start this? I mean, apart from waiting for the movie to come out, about the two of us meeting and doing what we do, what I was thinking, man? Well, if the movie does come out, I reckon the dude from, maybe the small dude, maybe the small guy from, Austin Powers, Mini-Me, can play you. Maybe we'll get him on some Celtec from Muscle Tech and get him pumped.
Bro, The Rock will be playing me, that's for sure. The Rock will be playing me. We'll need to find that dude out of Behind Enemy Lines who rocks around in that blue Adidas tracksuit to play the role of DJ Bigwig.
Come on, man. Give me at least some celebrity in the A or B or C list. That's crazy, man.
Dolph Lundgren. You always had that Dolph Lundgren flat top going on when you had hair, bro. So, I've got some connections these days now that I'm pretty famous. We'll be able to hook something up.
Well, I must say, I'm pretty starstruck sitting here talking to you, man. So, what's NZ Boss, man?
Boy,
How did this all start, man?
Oh, bro. Well, our relationship started off the introduction to the supplement world and the business world for me. So it all started at the INBA New South Wales bodybuilding champs when you were up on stage in a leopard skin G-string bikini at probably about 2% body fat. And I thought, man, I want to look like this guy. I go, man, I've seen that dude in the gym before. He never talks to nobody.
Let me rewind it a few years. I remember training the Arvos in the afternoons, and this dude walking in, Shane, and all his little boyfriends just hanging out. There's Shane. Shane's coming, man. He's here. Shane, what's up? And I'm going, fuck. Now I have to put up with this guy's fucking hour of talk and screaming. Anyway, this guy, Shane, rocks up in a working outfit, working boots, no shoelaces, 26 handshakes, 26 minutes of intros and talking about shit. And then it was on. I'm the man. Who's the man? Oh man! And I was like,
Dunk,
"Jeez."
dunk, dunk. throwing the big weights straight on the ground, 60 kgs, dumbbells, drop them straight to the ground. Boom.
No, you definitely.
Yeah, I
Taking
remember
it
those days,
forward.
bro. I thought the dirtier that my work boots and my clothes were, the more holes in my singlet, the more gangster I looked. That's the way I was rolling in those days.
Yeah, the one thing that struck me was like, this guy's so loud and he's got a fan base. But then I noticed, man, this guy's got some, like, this guy didn't just have big muscle dudes hanging off him. Shannon was talking to everyone. He was talking to younger kids, old people with walking frames, old ladies in wheelchairs. They're all fans, and this guy treated him equal. And I thought, this guy might not be so bad after all.
Oh, it's true. That's just the way I've always been, bro. I've just always got on with everyone. Even today, it's funny. I train at my gym at 6 o'clock every morning, and the average age in the gym's probably 60 years old, but they're all my homies now, you know what I mean? Anyone from 60 to 90 years old that's training in the gym, I'm dropping it on the daily with them and asking them, what their life's about, what they're doing, why they're training, what their goals are, all those types of things. So just like you said, it doesn't hurt to get on with everybody, but everybody of all age and all gender can be in the gym, getting fit and making their life better.
Yeah, for real, man.
And some of the best people that we ever met on both sides of the law came out of that gym. You know what I mean? We've got lifetime friends out of that gym. So yeah, good memories. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't realize people realize the bonds you make at the gym, because most people are like, oh fuck, are you going to the gym again? Why are you going to the gym? Oh, you're just going there talking shit. But the bonds that you make.
Hey, well, that was your wife's voice, then, eh?
Man,
I
I
can tell.
can't say that,
Sorry,
but
mate.
you know it. The viewers and listeners know who it is.
The boss lady.
The boss lady. But no, seriously, all the relationships and friends you make, and networking. I mean, there's some bad ones, but obviously some good ones, and long life friendships that you build from it and take away with you. So it's not like you're just going there to push weight and talk shit and sweat and have sweat dripping off your buddy on your forehead while you're getting spotted from up above him.
Yeah, you're a king of that. Thanks for that, bro. Every time a big drop of sweat dripped onto me, and I go, fuck, bro, you're sweating on me. Like, hurry, concentrate, man. Focus.
Hold that bar, man.
Yeah.
So I remember Shano walking up to me and going, I'm Shane, man. What's your name? See that? Not bad, huh? 60-kilo dumbbells. That's like 120-something pounds on the incline bench, which is pretty impressive. But I thought, I can't show this guy that I'm impressed and I'm one of his fanboys. So you know what I came back to him with? You tell him, Shano.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know. I can't even think I can repeat the exact words, but
man, I've got it written down.
Something along the lines of, I've had more intense wanks than that. Something along those lines.
And I remember years later,
True story.
Shano asking me, why did you talk so much shit, man? You did my head in. And I'm like, there was no real reason, but, I better make it such a valid reason. So I thought, man, I was just trying to make your mind stronger. Jeez.
Yeah, I got a good 4 years of making my mind stronger, that's for sure. But definitely matured as a person in many aspects from those life lessons in the gym with you, bro. That's for sure.
It was a crazy period, and what happened afterwards was even crazier. So we can't get into it all in one episode, but yeah, there's definitely episodes coming up where we can go back into time and outline some of the things that we did and people we met and our journey through business, bodybuilding, and so on. But going back to the movie that's coming out about us, which will probably never happen. I mean, we've been talking about doing something, like a YouTube channel or an ebook or a we didn't know what, but thank God to podcasting. Now it's something that anyone can do, and share any news and talk about anything, and people can just simply download it on any device. And after all, everyone's got a device these days. So it's pretty cool that we can do that. And what we wanted to do from this, I suppose, is bring on fitness and motivational celebrity guests as well through the process. And then not just people we've reached out to and said, hey, you know what, I've got a podcast, Shano this and me that, you know, and we just want to talk some shit for a few hours. It's not like that, man. It's people that we actually know and people that have, done the hard yards to get where they are. And, real journeys, real talk, real people. And none of this motivational shit where people do one-liners and the one-liners sound good, but you think, what the fuck's that mean? Like, if I get up at 5 a.m. and chase your dreams, I'll become what? A CEO or something? Well, what are the instructions? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all like you said, people that we've met, relationships and friendships that we've grown through our interest in this, and the real stories, like all successful people, all people that have, got to the top of the mountain. They just didn't get put at the top of the mountain. I've had to fucking climb there, and I've had to, endure many different challenges to get to the top of that mountain. So we're lucky. We've established a lot of good friendships with some people that are happy to share that journey, and what inspired them and what motivated them and what drove them to get to the top of their game and their chosen sport or field. So that's what. There's a ton of stories out there, positive and negative, that people need to hear to show what truly it takes to get to where you want to get.
Yeah, for real, man. And so Shano appeared on Chris M's podcast a few months ago, and it was pretty. Well, it's pretty successful, way more successful than anyone expected. And I suppose shout out to Chris for doing that podcast and just underlining what we were planning to do anyway. But yeah, it was such a powerful podcast about your journey and not just you, people around you and your family and that. And it was pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, bro, that was awesome. Massive shout out to the bro for hooking that up. And still to this day, I'm getting people. People that I know and even people that I don't know that approach me and say, hey, bro, I listened to your podcast. It was inspirational and motivational and, you've definitely inspired me. So that's the whole point of why you're actually not only sharing our own journeys, wins, losses and successes, but, a lot of mainstream high-profile athletes that are having, their journeys as well. So that's what it's all about, motivating and inspiring people, just trying to reach people on different levels for no reason at all, just other than the fact just to get these stories out there and to really motivate people.
Man, Shana's still rolling with a stolen cell phone, so it keeps cutting out. We're not in the same room. He's in New Zealand. I'm in Sydney. Man, can you get a legit phone and plug that shit in?
I'm on the fucking Nokia 3210, mate.
Man, do you want to take 3210 out of your fucking pink short shorts and move to a better area, man? Can't have our first podcast and
right,
all our
honestly,
listening saying, fuck these guys, these rookies, they're on a trial version.
This is the, I'm outside on the back doorstep. This is the beauty of New Zealand. It's such a beautiful country, but because I live out of town, we don't have the best reception. So I'm in the only area in the house that actually gets some reception. So yeah, I ain't gonna get any better than this, bro.
Fuck, well that's good to know.
Thank you for the cousins fucking hooking up to my Wi-Fi, bro. I think it's all the Maldives and down there that got my Wi-Fi code, bro, for the free Wi-Fi.
Do you charge your shit up or what, man? Did you put an extra $2 on your credit or what?
Bro, I told you. All the cousins around town, they got the free Wi-Fi. They got the password to my Wi-Fi, bro. I'm the only Māori in town with the internet. All my other bros are on that dial-up, bro. On that dial-up.
Look out your window, man. There must be like 4 or 5 cars downloading movies from your Wi-Fi with no password.
Bro, my crib's got that big electric gate out the front and tinted windows. When people roll up to the crib, bro, the front gate, the electric gate's closed, the windows all tinted, looks like no one's home, and we're just looking out the windows like, yeah, bro, keep driving, cuzzy, keep driving.
Wow, what a neighbourhood, man.
Oh yeah. Ever since I came back home, bro, I got rallies and cuzzies coming out of the woods, bro. But it's all good. That's what whānau's all about. That's why we love being back here. You know, it's good.
Sounds exciting, man. Hopefully they don't leave you with zero credit on your Wi-Fi and cell bill.
I'm just looking at my agenda and my notes that I got prepared.
Let me
I've
guess.
actually got none prepared. So what's next on the agenda, bro?
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, just like every boardroom meeting I've been to, you know, billion-dollar companies and PowerPoint presentations and spreadsheets and bits and pieces, and then there's this Māori over in the corner with a bit of paper and a pen, just pop locking and dropping it like it's hot. So,
that's so
what are we up to?
Every time I have to get on a phone conference with Shane, I'd email him and go, "Hey, these are my points. What are your points?" And he's like, "Points? I don't do fucking points, man. I'll get on the mic and I just fucking
I'm
freestyle."
Let's freestyle that shit, bro. Your points are my points, nigga. That's my points.
And the funny thing is, man, he comes across pretty good, like it's going down. He's prepared.
How good is he, mate? How good is he? It's all in his head, mate. It's all in his head. Right. I'm probably going to go a little bit off subject, but remember when we were in Las Vegas at the Mr. Olympia, and we had 43 meetings in 3 days with different brands, you know, that we distribute. And you and I must have been dropping about 8 Detonate, Gasparo Nutrition's Fat Burner Detonate, that did some unbelievable things to the mind. Man, we had some good times at those meetings, bro. That year.
Listen to this. This is the time when you just tell them to turn around and block their ears.
Oh man, we killed every single meeting, but I think only you and I were the only ones on the same planet. But I think nobody else knew what the hell was going on. But yeah, I remember finishing that trip feeling quite successful.
Man, I remember one time, you know, you walk on the Olympia floor, and that's where the trade show is, and people just throwing samples of your stims and pre-workouts and that, and you're just taking it. Like, we were newbies, and we were fresh, and we were like, yeah, I'll try this, I'll try that. By 7 p.m. at night, you're like, just, fuck, man, I don't feel right. Anyway, we were at this business dinner one night, and Shana goes, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. DJ, come with me. I'm like, what do you mean come with you? He goes, no, come. Get to the bathroom. Shano shuts the door and he goes, do you want to calm the fuck down? I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, look at your eyes. And I looked in the mirror and, man, my eyes were fucked. And then look at Shano's eye.
Popping out of your head.
And I go, look at your fucking eyes. And he was white as a ghost, and he says to me, man, you're in people's faces just yelling at them. And it was so true, man. I didn't even realise that. Fucking good times.
Oh, yeah, probably had a couple 1,000 milligrams of caffeine and all types of different stimulants from the trade show for the day, bro. But, yeah, you were up there with unicorns and My Little Ponies in this business dinner, and nobody else knew what was going on. And I was just as bad. Unicorns and rainbows. But, yeah, it's good times, all right?
We're talking about bodybuilding. Sorry, go.
Yeah.
Go, man.
This Detonate story, going back, Detonate, probably the best ever fat burning product from a sales perspective that we had in New Zealand for a short period of time. I heard a story not that long ago where it was on Instagram where a guy was in his changing rooms at the gym, and underneath the lockers he saw a blue and white pill on the ground in amongst all the dust and stuff. And he pulled it out and he goes, man, that looks like Detonate. You know, Detonate's been off the market for a couple of years now. And he basically just ended up dropping it in his mouth and knocking it back and going doing his workout. And that pill was probably been on the ground for a good 2 years. Yeah. But this guy was like, man, I missed those Detonate days. So, yeah, dropped it. So, yeah. Anyway, that just popped into my mind.
No, that's a valid story, man, and thanks for sharing that with us. That was really important.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Talking about bodybuilding and the fitness industry and that, so we may potentially have some guests lined up. Do you want to touch base on that? You know, and pray after this that they come onto our show.
Oh, yeah, we've reached out to some of the people that we're close with. Obviously, you know, one of my closest friends and best friends in the industry is Flex Lewis. You know, the current 212. Mr. Olympia, yep. So we've been, long-time friends, and, I've been to his wedding. He stayed at my house numerous times. So, I reached out to the bro and said, this is what we're looking to do, along the same lines as what Flex likes to do, motivate and inspire people. And he's like, bro, I don't do a podcast, bro, but for you, little bro, I'll fucking do it, my man. So I was like, oh, sure, bro. As long as you say sure, bro, and stay Grisby, we'll have you as a VIP guest. So looking forward to getting Flex on.
Crazy,
heaps
man.
of funny stories there.
Yeah, Flex Lewis, six-time Mr. Olympia, 212-pound, and I think it was the first Arnold Classic winner as well at 212-pound.
Yep, he was. You've lined up some of the boys too, DJ.
Yeah, so we're hoping to have people like, not just any people, another Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath, 7-time Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
So Phil was kind enough to reach back to us and, say, yep, let's check schedules and let's discuss potentially doing a show. So he could quite possibly be on the show in the coming months. So that would be great as well, man. That guy's got a few stories to tell.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of good fun with Phil, you and me, over the years, with tours in New Zealand and Australia, and being around the same age, having a lot of common interests. I always call him Big Worm from the movie Friday with Smokey. You know this, man? So we always drop a lot of lines out of that and have a lot of fun around shit like that. So he's cool.
Yeah, you know what comes to mind when I think of Phil Heath? That picture of Phil Heath, Jay Cutler, and Shano. This is what normal people look like standing next to bodybuilders. And then you would have seen...
Oh, yeah. Bro, that is...
for that, man. You paid for that shit.
That photo is one we were at. That was at the Arnold, Columbus, Ohio, and then I actually went to that one, and we had a feed with Jay and Phil, and then I flew to New York to New Jersey to go and stay at Rich Gasparri's house for a week. But yeah, I remember taking that photo, and someone screenshotted that off my Instagram story, and then made that meme. So it was a normal person amongst bodybuilders, and then they had a picture of a not so flattering angle of Jay amongst some big powerlifters, and then a set of bodybuilder amongst powerlifters. But oh man, that went viral many times. But yeah, I felt like a little freaking 10-year-old ballerina when I took that photo. I was like, boys need to change angles, bro. Fucking squashing me like a turkey sandwich. Well, you know how Jay Cutler loves his turkey sandwiches, so I felt like a little piece of turkey in between.
There's two pieces of bread, and Shana was the salami in between. Low fat, no salt, piece of salami.
Little piece of salami, man. And you know what's funny, bro? I was probably like 90 kgs at that time. Like, I don't know what that is in pounds.
Man, like you were 200 plus, like 215, 220 pounds, What's your height again?
And those guys just totally, I don't know, like 5'4" or something. 5'5" maybe.
5 foot plus a pineapple.
Yeah, but I was like, I wasn't like totally skinny, and those guys just absolute monster me. That was when Jay was making his comeback to the Olympia. Man, he was massive. I remember his arms; they were huge. Actually, we've got to get Jay on there too. You got Jay coming over there in a couple of weeks. He loves doing this shit. He's got heaps of funny stories, so we'll make sure that we get Jay on too.
Yeah, no. So Jay Cutler's definitely on the books, and we have to reach out to him. We actually kind of know his former manager as well, so that might help.
Steve Monaro.
Big Steve. Boom.
Oh, NS marketing manager.
And Kai Green's also a potential man.
Big Kai. He said he's keen. He's keen.
I kind of rushed. I was going to do a bit of a teaser. Hey, what's up? It's your boy. Insert name here. A.K.A. Mr. Get It Done.
Mr. Get It Done. There's
Kai
it.
Green. I remember Kai came down to the Sydney Fitness Show last year. And
hey,
it was...
DJ, I just got to interrupt you, mate. Sorry. My wife just bought me 300 grams of chicken breast with some nacho cheese, oh my spice on it, and what is that?
A wholemeal wrap with
a wholemeal wrap with a little bit of love in it.
Oh, man.
Pew pew.
Can you stop bringing your wife in? Just now have to pay her royalties as well. And I know she ain't cheap, man. It's going to cost a fortune. There goes our budget.
Yeah, it's going to cost a pair of brown boots and a Louis Vuitton handbag, mate. But I'm sitting on the front doorstep on one of the kids, my daughter's little chairs that they used to have when they were about 4 or 5 years old. It's like, you know, in the Three Bears, there's the big Papa Bear, Mama Bear, there's a little bear, and then there's the baby bear. I'm sitting on the baby bear's chair right now, just so you know.
I'm picturing more like a caravan park in, you know, somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the US, and you're sitting at the front with a shotgun and reading a magazine and newspaper and just saying, "Boy, I want you to move on, man. Nothing to see here."
Yeah, it does look a little bit like that. Here's the Jackson bar.
All right, moving on, man. Mixed martial arts. What comes to mind when you talk about mixed martial arts and the very beginning of mixed martial arts and UFC?
Forrest Griffin, bro. Forrest Griffin.
That's
the
right,
man.
Forrest. Not the Forrest from Forrest Gump, but Forrest Griffin.
Run, Forrest, run.
Man.
Bro. And
we spent a crazy week with him, didn't we?
Oh, bro, he's a legend. So many funny stories, man. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to bringing Forrest on. Like, you just know we're going to have an hour of laughs, bro. Like, some of the stories he's told me, I'm not going to go into them because I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but good value, bro. Fucking just awesome guy. Legend.
I've got a few stories about Forrest and Shano, but maybe I should save it for the next episode.
Oh, that's right. I fucking kicked his ass at this part. I forgot about that, mate.
Kicked his ass? Man, I've got to ask the
that was
man
legendary.
himself, did this really happen? Because I remember being at a trade show in New Zealand, and we had Forrest Griffin at our booth. He was sponsored by BSN at the time. And then Shana coming back from lunch or wherever he was with, you know, his flat top all messy, his shirt undone, his pants ripped. I was like, what the fuck happened to you, man? And Shano's like, BJJB. I'm like, what the fuck's BJJB? And he's like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, bitch. I go, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu who? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Forrest. I'm like, are you serious? Are you okay? And Shane's like, am I okay? Is Forrest okay? And I was like, come on, man. Come on. But apparently, Shane says it's true, man.
Round one went to me, mate. Round two, I saw the gates of heaven in front of me when he got me in a headlock and squeezed that tough, that hard. I didn't think I was going to wake up, man. Round one went to me, mate.
We're definitely going to be putting him under the spotlight and getting the truth out of that one, so can't wait for that. Let's talk about New Zealand. We've got some sports people and people that have done really well for New Zealand and role models that are on the long list of people we want to talk to.
Yeah, we've got a couple of the athletes that we work. Yeah, I'm eating, bro. We've got a couple of the athletes that we work.
Chicken wing, man. Fried chicken wings.
Mate, when you put chicken on my meal plan, mate, was that KFC spicy chicken, mate?
Well, I definitely know one thing. I didn't write insert podcast here whilst eating your meal number 4. Well, let's talk about All Blacks. All Blacks, man. What's an All Black?
All Black is the most recognised sports team in the world. Comes out of New Zealand, of course, like all good things. And yeah, we work with a lot of the players for a lot of the Super 15 rugby teams, and even at the All Black level. So I've been fortunate enough to build some good relationships with some of the players. Lima, Joe, I think you know who Lima is. Lima Supuanga. So we'll be getting the bro on, and hopefully my bro Fielding, born and bred Aaron Smith, number 1 halfback in the world, probably one of the best, probably in my opinion the best halfback of all time. Definitely revolutioned the game and the way that he plays. So there's just a couple of the boys. Obviously, as we get things going, we'll get a couple more of the boys on board. But yeah, they are both keen to jump on and share their stories and journeys. We have Katrina Grant, who's the captain of the Silver Ferns, the New Zealand netball team. Just an unbelievable woman on many levels, but man, just a fitness freak too. You know, I've trained in the gym with her. But she's like a gazelle or something out of the African desert just running along, and I'm just like this little fat, I don't know, porky pig just trying to keep up. Right.
She's the
I
cheetah
don't
in
know
the
what.
African
Oh,
safari.
bro.
And you're the
And
little
I'm just like a little
bush
pig
pig.
trotter, I don't know what. Yeah, just running and snorting behind trying to keep
Oh,
up.
man,
But
I can't wait for that one.
I just really want to share some of their stories, what it's taken for them to get at the top of, for her to become the captain of the Silver Ferns and at the later end of her career, playing the best netball and being in the best sort of physical condition that she can ever be in. So, yeah, really, really looking forward to that. And then we've got the bro, Joseph Parker, world heavyweight champion of the world, who's got his big fight coming up in 2 weeks. So hopefully we can get him on before the fight. That's the plan. And just he's over in Las Vegas training right now, sort of out of sight, out of mind. So I know he's working hard every day. I message him most days just to see what's going on. So, yeah, if we can catch a quick glimpse of sort of what he's doing now and, his whole life has led up to this moment for this fight against Anthony Joshua. So,
That would be crazy,
yeah.
man. That's a crazy interview coming up for sure, man. Because boxing is like one of the ultimate sports, man.
Oh, and this is like as big as it gets for anyone in boxing, any heavyweight contender, you know what I mean? Like, he's fighting against someone that holds the other title. So her unification, so it's pretty massive. And it's just one of the bros from New Zealand, proud Samoan Kiwi who's just repping all of New Zealand and just grinding away. I think people don't realise when he leaves New Zealand, he goes into a camp over in Vegas with Kevin Barry. That's all they do all day, every day, man. It's training, it's boxing, it's gym, it's nutrition, it's study. That's what he has to just go into a show and just study and grind away at his craft, the whole time.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely,
pretty cool to get an insight into that.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. I mean, there's no one-line motivational, memes or posts or sayings that anyone says or does that turns you into that. There's a whole heap of it. It's pretty much a lifetime of work, for your 5 minutes of fame and being the best, absolute best in your field, man. 99% of the time it's a fight against your own self, and just letting go of all the things you can be doing that other people are doing, luxuries and cheap meals and going out and partying. That just all goes, man. The whole world around you does not exist. It's just you and your mission to get to where you are. You know what I'm talking about, man. You do that 24/7, don't you?
Bro, 100%, man. It's a lifetime of work, and it's it's a cake batter of 30 or 40 different ingredients that all have to come together to help you get there. I do get asked all the time. Part of my my Instagram account is just to motivate and inspire people and sort of show them what my daily life is. But I try and motivate people every single day, and people sort of say, what did it take for you to get to where you are, man? Like, there's just so many things that you have to compile together to make that happen, and that's what we're going to learn from a lot of our guests, their stories. We'll dedicate that hour or so to them so they can tell us what it took for them to get where they are and the ups and the downs and what they have to do daily just to stay there too.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I got
Is that your cell phone ringing?
That's Jack's bro. He's got his Star Wars gun. He's got his life jacket on. He's got his goggles. He's got his bike. He's got his Hummer. He's got his red band gumboots. He's got his slug gun. It's the day in the life, eh, bro? Say cheer, bro.
Getting ready for
staying
the real
Grisby?
world.
Bro, he ain't got no real world. He's already got his own. He's got his own world. He's been doing boxing training because he loves Joseph Parker. And, whoa.
Daddy, stop
No.
lying. Daddy, stop lying.
Am I lying? Why do you love doing boxing then? Okay. Nothing, man. Anyway, and every time I talk to Jack...
He must have watched Rocky and he must have seen the Drago scene, and he goes, "I must break Rocky." There you go.
I wish I could.
Eye of the tiger.
Anyway,
That's what he's singing.
every time when I message Joe or talk to Joe, he always gives a shout out to Jaxie Boy and says he's going to come down and take Jax through some sessions. Reckons Jack's got a good left hook. That a baller.
Sign him up, man.
I told you yesterday he's only in year one at school, and out of all the kids, only him and another guy went in the full length freestyle, and they both can't even swim properly. But that's what I love. Just
at the start line, going, "Get your ass in the pool, boy. Get in."
Bro, it was more like, bro, I didn't even know this little nigga can swim, bro. As soon as they go, there's only 2 kids in the year one full length freestyle. I was like, oh, this is Jax for sure. Him and his little mate Finn, his little partner in crime. You know, they step up, big smiles on their face, and they both couldn't even swim properly. But they tried. You know, they made it to the other end. Took about 10 minutes, but that's all they do, man. They just got confidence and they jump in. They just try their hardest. They just do. It's just survival. They just did whatever it took to get to the other end without sinking. So all the parents and the whole school's all clapping and just cheering them on. It's awesome, and that's all you want. All I want for my kids is for them to have the confidence to try anything, and I'm proud of them regardless of the result. You know, if they come first or last, as long as they're in there giving it a go, that's what I'm happy about.
Well said, man. I mean, playing sports, builds character and so on, but at the same time, they could come home one day, as you said, and you'd still be proud of them, even if they entered a pizza eating contest and slammed down 3 large ones.
He has to. If he's going to enter that, bro, he has to win. He can knock back a few pizzas. This boy, he's had plenty of practice with me. Pizzas and that's, bro. Yep, he will not be beaten.
Man, that's crazy. Wow, man. It sounds like we've got a lot of work, man, and hopefully those guests still say yes after this podcast. We'll be out of work.
Nah, it'll be good, bro. It's going to be exciting, and I know there's a ton of people that have reached out to me, interested in hearing our stories and us talking a bit of shit on the mic. So it's going to be fun.
Shano's usually pretty crazy and doesn't slow down. So when I rang him today and I was like, Shano, you there? And he's like, oh man, I just fuck, I fell asleep on the lounge. Mummy, I don't want to go to school today. And I'm like, Shano, snap out of it. Get the fucking podcast. What podcast? Sunday. Let me go do some push-ups and get a fake tan and slam some pre-workout.
Let me take a fat burner, do some press-ups, put my gold watch on. Can I do the podcast in the Maserati, mate? I mean, make me feel better. Make me feel better.
Get you to do it, man. Get you lit.
Nah, it'll be good, bro. Anything else we need to talk about today?
Man, I can keep going on and on and on, but yeah, we want to do a bit more podcasting over the next few months, so can't put it all on one recording. So, with that said, man, we want to do some shout outs to the people that inspired us and made it happen. Obviously, the music again, Willie, Willstar, and Ty from Smashproof, Ems, who did that podcast with Shana and really pushed the idea, just planted that seed and got it going. Ryan Padoni, who helped me set up the system we're using, which is Spreaker Studio. Shana, you got any shout outs?
NZ Muscle for sponsoring our first podcast and supporting it. NSNZ Boss, Shane Hunter, for turning up to work on Sunday. Boss Lady for making my lunch.
Boss Lady.
Wifey. Nah.
I did the laugh instead of the applause. Say her name again.
Boss Lady.
There you go. That's better.
Well done, mate. Well done. And DJ Bigwig for setting us another. What's the word I'm looking for, bro? Another journey.
Open your Bible, man.
I'm a man of the Bible, bro. Just saying, bro, let's get this shit together and fucking put something out there and motivate and inspire some people and do something that's fun and cool. So, thanks to you, bro, for pushing this along, and I'm excited.
Thanks for having me on, man. Shayna made me do a fucking 5-page essay, and the title was "Why Should I Be on the Hour of Power podcast" by NZ Boss.
Man, I want forecasts, I want targets, I want timelines, man. I want gifts, I want ETAs, man. I want it all, man. You had to do a lot of work to get it, that's for sure. But we'll make it hot.
Yeah, and if you want to reach out to us, I mean, we're on Instagram, so it's NZBoss_podcast. We're on Facebook, just type in NZBoss Hour of Power podcast. Or if you have access to an email, and unlike Shane, you have credit left on your phone to make an email happen, it's NZBoss, HOPP, Hour of Power podcast at gmail.com. So it's NZBoss hop with a double P at gmail.com. Whoa. Whew. Just let me get my towel out, wiping the sweat off. That was some pretty heavy lifting there, man.
Anyway, if there's any guests or any suggestions or anyone that wants to even be on the podcast, hit any of those addresses. Everyone should be following me on my Instagram anyway, because that's the only social media forum that I'm active in, other than just sending selfies to my wife. So NSNZ Boss on Instagram and DJ Bigwig as well. And if you want to get on, or anyone that you want us to get on, or anyone that you know that will want to get on that's Grisby, then hit us up.
For real, man. Again, thanks to NZ Muscle for sponsoring this first one. Ain't cheap to be on the air and be a D-grade celebrity, so thanks to them. And what was the code to get a discount?
Boss, B-O-S-S.
Boss, B-O-S-S. All right, well, thanks for listening, man. Thanks, Shano, for getting on your own show.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. It's that Grisby.
Hey, yo, check it. The hour of power. POD cast is upon your ass. Spitting on the mic is the NZ Boss and his homie DJ NZ the Oz. Yeah, don't twitch, don't snitch, don't switch.